friends, so here's the sweet corn. Now these rows are about 14 inches apart, 12-14 inches. I basically do it on the fact that Evie can walk through and water, because she loves to do that. But about 14 inches is fair enough, but then the plants themselves are only 8 inches apart. Now I've done it in a grid because sweet corn is pollinated by the wind, and you need to do them in a grid formation. If you do them just in one single line, they won't pollinate properly and you'll have crap sweet corn. So even if you only have 4 plants, do 4 in a grid like that. You can probably do them a tiny bit closer if you don't have to walk through the rows. Now I haven't added anything to the soil because the soil at my allotment is fantastic for sweet corn, but if you want to add some soil improver in or some compost, they like good water retention. They don't like drying out. They love heat, but they don't like drying out. So you can add that. But the compost here is phenomenal. It drains really well. This is in full sun. Sweet corn need full sun, at least 6 hours, otherwise they won't produce cobs. When it gets to the tassel stage, I'll show you everything to do with that, so don't worry. I'm going to plant them as deep as they were in the pot, and then I'm going to water them in really well, and then I'm going to mulch them because this area is so weedy and it will just suppress the weeds and keep the water in. So in a grid, same level as it is in the pot, and then water them in really well, and if you can mulch them. Okay, now my sweet corn is about pencil thickness, just over pencil thickness, which is perfect to plant out. Harden them off. So if they're a bit thinner than pencil, I mean that one's slightly thinner, don't worry too much, but you don't want them much thinner than this because the wind will snap them. So wait till they're pencil thickness. Don't get stressed if you can't plant them out just yet, they'll catch up no problem. Just make sure they're in full sun. Okay, so here's my finished area with all my corn in a grid. You see, I've mulched it all with straw to suppress the weeds because getting in between the sweet corn once it grows is really hard. My beans are going here, and then I'm going to weed this and put the rest of my squash in. So it's a bit like a Three Sisters, just not underneath each other. If you don't know what a Three Sisters is you usually wait for plant your corn, then you plant beans, and the beans grow up the corn, and then you plant squash and it rambles in between the corn to suppress the weeds, but I don't do that. I'm just planting them near each other. To be honest, the squash will probably reach here anyway, but by my potatoes. But yeah, that's the sweet corn. So just make sure you do it in a grid.